Today we're going to dive into story structure and the 8 components that make up a great book. Hi, I'm Lindsay J. I am a young adult fantasy author, and I recently went to a writing conference with all different types of authors, from traditionally published authors to self-published authors and authors with works in progress, where we discussed and broke down the acts that make up a story structure. Now, these 8 acts are found in almost every story that is written in some way. Now, of course, there are some exceptions to this structure, but in general, this is the story structure that most writers try to follow, and it's a great way to plot out your book or just to make sure that your story is hitting each of these components. So, what pieces make up a story structure? First, you're going to start with the disruption. This is going to be the catalyst that starts your story. It is going to be the disrupting act that takes your main character from their ordinary life and their ordinary routine and thrusts them into action or start them on their journey. And more often than not, the disruption happens within the first chapter of many stories. Now again, the disruption does not have to be this huge climactic moment, but it is the moment that starts the story. Second act of a story structure is the goal. So what goal is your main character trying to accomplish? What are they striving for? And in turn, what is the reader striving for your main character? The third act is the misguided attempts. So every story has these. This is going to be your main character attempting to reach their goal, but failing. 4 is going to be your midpoint twist. Previously, before this, your main character is going to be pretty much the same person as when they started the story. They're going to still be trying for that goal, but again, they're going to be doing it in ways that are not working. The midpoint twist comes in and flips all of that. So this can be something dramatic, traumatic, heartbreaking, interesting, or shocking, but it's the point where your story is going to flip and things are really going to take off from here, not just with your main character, but with the story arc overall. Next is going to be an internal struggle to change. So your main character still has the goal that they are trying to reach, and they so far have done it every way that they can imagine, or a way that they think is right, or how it should work. This midpoint twist is going to come in and really send them reeling. So they're going to be in this moment where they are now struggling to change, and that can look a lot of different ways. Whether it is a stubborn character finally willing to accept help or do things in a different way, or a realization that they need to do something that they don't want to do in order to reach the goal. 6 is going to be your all is lost moment. So this typically comes right before the climax of the story, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It is going to look like all is lost. The main character has lost the battle, they didn't win the game, they didn't get the love interest, they really screwed things up, they're really down in the dumps. Tension is high, it looks like the bad guys are going to win, and it's going to be one of the lowest moments of the story. Now the all is lost moment is always followed by the heroic act, where the story was pretty low and down in the dumps and looking like all was hopeless, is now going to start rising to the heroic act where the main character fulfills the goal. And then you have the new beginning. So the story and the characters from step 1 in the ordinary world are no longer going to be the same when you get to act 8 within a story. So this is the new normal, the new beginning for the characters and your plot. So what does that look like?